Hey, Allison. So I saw your question and I thought it would just be easier to reply with a video explanation. So I've got the muscle fatigue lab pulled up here, and the part that you have questions about is the pre lab part B, where it's comparing aerobic respiration with anaerobic respiration. And I can see where this can be a little confusing, so that's okay. I'm going to help you work through that. So let's go back just really quickly to there's our message. So, what cellular respiration is? So, cellular respiration is your body, or specifically your tiny cells, breaking down what you eat and turning it into energy. So you go to McDonald's and you eat a cheeseburger. How does your body turn that into energy? That is cellular respiration. So, it's a process in which energy is released from glucose to perform cellular functions. Yes, that is true, but that's just the way that I like to remember it because I think it's easier for you to kind of understand. So one really important thing that comes from all this is something called ATP. Adenosine triphosphate is the fancy name for that, but right now, let's just say ATP. It is energy, lots of energy. That is kind of the name of the energy molecule. Okay, so the way that I've always taught my class, let's go back to the worksheet that you're asking. Aerobic, there's two paths that you can take in cellular respiration: aerobic respiration or anaerobic respiration. So, like you're driving down the road and you see a fork in the road, and do you go right or do you go left? Well, let's just say we go right and we go down the aerobic path. If you go down the aerobic path, this is the path that the necessary requirement for it to happen in your body is oxygen. So, necessary to have oxygen and also sugar. So, glucose, well, I thought we said food. Well, there's glucose in your food. So, glucose is a fancy name for sugar. There's sugar in your food. So, how do we break that down into the energy that our body can use? So, for aerobic respiration, things that are necessary are oxygen and sugar. We need that. Anna, the way I've taught my class is Anna doesn't need any oxygen. So if we go down the anaerobic path, if we go down that road, then this is the path that your body takes when there's no oxygen there for it to work with. Okay? So glucose, yes. Oxygen, no. So reactants versus products. I actually found a picture online, and where did it go? There it is. So when you've got a chemical reaction, the reactants I always teach my students are on the left side of the arrow. My mouse isn't working. Here's the arrow. So the reactants are what you put into the equation. So in order to make cellular respiration happen, we got to have sugar from our food and we got to have oxygen. We got to have oxygen, right? Oxygen is very important for us. Well, it is really important for cellular respiration. If we have those two things, then we put those into the machine. What comes out as a result of the machine, and we're the machine, is carbon dioxide. That's what we breathe out, which is good for things around us. So it's a waste for us, but it's really good for plants. They make oxygen for us, we make carbon dioxide for them, and we work together with that. Water, and there's that ATP again. What did we say? ATP produces energy. Well, we need energy from our food, and that's what this whole process is about. That's what cellular respiration is about. Taking what we eat and turning it into energy. So, glucose and oxygen would be the reactants, and carbon dioxide, water, and ATP are going to be where's the sheet? Products. Okay. And I mean, it could be written, it doesn't have to be written exactly like I just said it. I'm not going to be that picky about it. As long as you get close, it's just about understanding the material, understanding that reactants for aerobic respiration are glucose and oxygen, and the byproducts are carbon dioxide, water, and energy. That's all that it's asking for there. And then for anaerobic respiration, you'll put what is put into the equation, and then what. And I didn't, you asked if I mind you looking things up. It's just be really careful when you look things up on the internet. We always say to try to stick to .org. Wikipedia obviously is not a good resource, but pictures, if there's a picture, like I just looked up that picture of reactants and products because it kind of helped me understand how to explain it to you a little better. I do not mind that at all. Just understand that when you do drift away from what access is provided for you, we can't really be responsible for that. Not everything on the internet is accurate. But most of the time, I mean, you're going to be able to see, okay, all of these pictures are the same, so this is accurate. So what happens with anaerobic respiration? An example that I like to use: if our body doesn't have any oxygen, okay, so for me, I played sports, and I know after the summertime when I had kind of been laying around, I hadn't been doing my drills, I haven't been exercising, I haven't been running, and then boom, I go back to basketball practice, and we're running sprints, we're practicing for 2 hours, and I go home that night, and the next day I wake up, and how do I feel? Sore, really, really sore. My calf muscles are sore, my arm muscles are sore, everything is sore. So what happens is your body and your tissues learn, okay, well, she needs this much oxygen in her calf muscles to operate through the day. And that's what I had been doing all summer. But then I go to basketball practice and I need more oxygen and I need it quicker. And my body's not in shape. That's when people say you're not in shape. My body's not in shape for that. So I'm really running out of oxygen. And when your body runs out of oxygen, uh, it's just an amazing thing that it can do. It can make this thing called lactic acid to go in the place of the oxygen. So in my calf muscle, I'm working out, I run out of oxygen. Your body produces lactic acid and kind of puts it in there in the place of where the oxygen should be to get you through. So you don't just quit running and you don't pass out. So what happens is though is that lactic acid burns and it hurts and it's sore, and you say I'm sore from working out, or you really just have a buildup of lactic acid in your muscles because you didn't have enough of an oxygen supply there. Now as you do those drills every day, then your body learns, okay, she needs this much oxygen, you're getting more in shape, and then less soreness, so less need for lactic acid. But that's a good example of a product of anaerobic respiration is lactic acid, where you don't have oxygen. What's an advantage about aerobic respiration is energy. So you could put energy there. You could put ATP there. There's actually around 38 ATP that are produced through aerobic respiration. I don't see any disadvantages of aerobic respiration, but if you had some, you could put those there. I'm going to look and it's a lab, so you can think outside of the box. For anaerobic respiration, there are some disadvantages. We just talked about them. That soreness, that pain, that's not something that you want to endure. So hopefully that helps. I can see that how the chart here in the comparison table can be confusing, but that's what the question is asking, and that's the type of answer that they want you to put there. So I hope this video helps, and if you have any more questions, feel free to send me a message, and I will be glad to help. So I hope you have a great day. Thanks.